What up? What up? What up? This is Mike the Philosopher here with another one, y'all. This one is Make That Move. All right. Without further ado, I'm just going to go right on in. All right. Now, first up, I noticed that Sharice, she eliminates Maurice. And, I get it. I get it. The guy was getting a little too cocky. He was getting a little too, a little too smooth for his own good. He was on his Billy D, and you know, and, and it come, it's funny to me, and this, I'm gonna admit something to the ladies. I'm a little bit jealous. I'm a little bit jealous as a guy, and I'm gonna tell you why. It seems to me, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong about this, but it seems to me that women can pretty much act any kind of way they want. But the men, we have to perform, okay? The men can't just be themselves. The men have to pursue and have to convince and have to impress, and the men have to chase and do all of these things. They have to do everything to show interest, to show this, to show to not be too comfortable, to do all of these things while women get to just be themselves. I mean, it's not fair. It's really not fair. I didn't see her change her personality. I didn't see any of these ladies really change their personalities very much to impress a guy. It's always the men who have to conform to the women. Now, in this show, the women have all the power, which is that's a big sigh. Okay, they got all the power. Uh, Mainly because women are watching these shows. That's really just what it boils down to. But with that dynamic, now you have guys who really have to do a lot of impressing, not get too comfortable. You can't be smooth. You can't be this. You can't be that. I mean, you have to pretty much see if you just fit with a certain type of woman. Really, that's really all it boils down to. You got to find out if you match up with one of these women. All right, and you may or may not. But one thing you can't do is get too comfortable. Can't get too comfortable. Um, that's what I noticed because Maurice wasn't able to be himself. Now he was a little too cool for school, but at the same time he can't be himself. And if they feel like you getting too comfortable and you ain't chasing or you ain't texting and calling me enough, they put you on the short list, they send you out, and it's just like I don't know. That's just the frustrating part for me as a guy watching this, especially when all the women got all the power. It just, I don't know. But if they not for them, they not for them. It's all about the women, obviously, right? It's their show, so they get to pick and choose what kind of guy that they vibe with. But I don't know. It's a little bothersome to me as a guy. It's kind of hard watching these shows now to make that move and love experiment. I missed last week. I was out on vacation, but I'm getting back to it now, and it's like, oh, it's getting tougher and tougher. But I'm gonna do it if y'all want to see it. Uh, you know, Next up, Ashley. I see Ashley in the kitchen. And then they start talking about Sharice started talking about she's the girl that got away from him. Now he want to take her all over the place and tour and all of this, that, and the third. I mean, he just wanted to be on this cool, but I guess she's the girl that got away. Maurice, if you watching, brother, she did you a favor. I'm just saying, she just did you a favor. You don't know it, but she did you a favor. Excuse me. You don't know it, but she did you a favor. Now, um, one thing I've noticed is when I seen Ashley in the kitchen, I'm like, oh my goodness. Ashley is a wife, y'all. Ashley is a wife. Okay. Ashley is more wife material probably than any other woman on that show. I'm just keeping it a buck. And it's not just because she can cook and stuff like that. It's just that she has the personality that a wife would have. She is sweet. She is she's high energy. So you're gonna have to be able to deal with that. She's high energy. She'll bring the energy, but she is wife material. I mean, she got all of the signs of a wife. She just you just have to have the energy to deal with her energy. That's it. That's it. Her star shines bright. You gotta you gotta have your shades on or something. You gotta be able to handle the brightness of her energy. But it was good seeing her and all the women enjoying her food, eating her food. You know, in my opinion, that set her above all the other women. To be honest, I'm not saying the other women can't cook, but she showed more femininity, and because this is not the only time she's been cooking. She's been cooking throughout this show. I've noticed she's always the one in the kitchen, and all the rest of them is too busy enjoying her food. You know what I mean? Cooking jambalaya, man. Come on, man. New Orleans. You ain't even from New Orleans. You cooking jambalaya? Go on with your bad self, Ashley. Loving it, girl. Loving it. Next up, Liz and Stormy and Camille and LJ arrived to the show. Now, let me say this. Let me just give you a synopsis of what I remember about each of these people really quick. All right. First, Liz. I liked Liz in her episode. I remember Liz. I liked her, but I thought that she was a little too bougie. I thought she was a little too, I don't know, indecisive. I think she ended up picking a younger guy, and I think they walked off the show together, but they didn't last, or they didn't even last past the reunion, I don't think. Remember, she's a businesswoman. There's a lot of things that I liked about Liz. I remember she was heavy in the church. Okay. I just remember a lot of things about Liz. I was kind of on the fence with her. When she first came up, I was team Liz, but seeing a couple more episodes, I'm like, I don't know. I'm seeing a little holes in the armor, so to speak. So I kind of dialed back my enthusiasm with Liz, but I can't say she's a bad woman. I've seen a whole lot worse. I'll put it that way. So that's what I remember about Liz. Stormy, I remember Stormy too. I actually like Stormy. I thought that she didn't really get a fair shake on her season. I thought the guys was. I remember. I thought her hair was all shaved on one side, if I remember correctly. But I thought Stormy was dope. I thought she was a bit misunderstood by the guys. I didn't really see many personality traits that I wasn't really rocking with for the most part. But I don't, I didn't see much of her, and it's been a while, so it is a little gray. But um, I didn't see much wrong with Stormy. I probably would have rocked with Stormy if I was on the show. I would have definitely took her out on some dates or so. Um, Next up is Camille. Camille, yeah, I'm sure everybody who watched RTL remember Camille. All right, and Camille, this woman, this woman is a trip. I know she did walk off the show with her guy. I don't know if they still together or not. I seen some reports that they still together. I forgot his Cornelius. I think that they are still together. And Camille was very judgmental, very she had all these faces, uh a bit annoying too, you know. Always loved her body. I ain't gonna even front to you. I was like, dang, she got a banging ass body though. I can't take that away from her. But dealing with her mental, I think she got a couple screws loose up there, to be honest. Not to say that she's dumb. She's intelligent. She's just psychologically got a couple screws. That's like you can shake it, you can hear it like a tin can or something. There's a couple screws that's loose in that head of hers. I wouldn't consider. I mean, look, Corn is still with her, so maybe she can maintain a relationship, but she's very judgmental. That's what I remember the most about her. LJ, he was a cool guy. He seemed to be he was so cool that he had the most connections, but it seemed like he has the most he's put in the friend zone the most. Um, he's put in the friend zone by Sharice. Being in the friend zone is not all that bad. I mean, you know, you probably get those late night calls. You know what I mean? What's up, Sharice? Oh, you need your tires rotated? I'll be over there. You know, and there's no commitment, so you know. I'm not saying LJ is like that. I'm just saying that he seems to be more in the friend zone. He gets along with all the women, but I don't know how many women are taking him serious. But all around good guy though. He had more connections pretty much than anybody else on his season. So shout out to LJ. And you know, the first concern was that so okay, so here's what happened. Zadia, she goes on a date with Cameron, and he tastes her coffee. And Camille was like, "Oh, so y'all must have kissed before, huh?" and she asked him a question. She asked him a question of, "Would you consider relocating to DC?" And he was like, I don't know. I think she should have to come down here." And you know, one thing I'll say about Camille is I think she was absolutely right. Okay, she read she read well on telltale signs. Okay, you drinking her coffee. Obviously, y'all kissed. What else? I would have came to the same conclusion. So she's right about that. They didn't want to admit that. I think they kissed when she went out with Cameron and she stayed out and left the door unlocked. I think we'll be surprised at how much they did that night because she seemed to have an unhealthy um, attachment to Cameron. If I'm being real, and Camille did a good job of dissecting what is going on with them. Okay, so y'all kissed. What else? She said, "What else did he taste?" Oh, that's actually a good ass question because I bet you a lot of people don't know how much they did. They did a lot. I'm convinced that they I'm just convinced that they did a lot. And Camille read up on that superbly. I got to give it to her. She read up on it superbly. All right. Um, so I'm gonna give everybody a grade as far as the friends. I'm gonna give all the friends a grade to to kind of rank them as far as how they did for their friend, how well they assessed the situation for their friend. And for Camille, I'm going to give Camille an A. She did a great job assessing Cameron. She made him feel uncomfortable. She noticed that he drinking her coffee, so they kissed. Who else? Who knows what else they did? Are you willing to move to DC? Um, she found out a lot of stuff in a short amount of time. Camille gets an A. She had a list of questions she was going to ask him. Camille gets an A. Shout out to Camille for that. At least she was looking out for her girl. Next up, uh, you know, Jabari. Well, let me say this first. Here's one thing I noticed about Cameron. Cameron is very a linear guy. He's very black and white. All right, it's either black or it's white with this guy. He don't. He's very decisive on what he thinks, believes, and knows. Okay, this is probably why he's a doctor, a pharmacist. He has to be precise. So his train of thought and his way of thinking is very sharp and very precise. But the problem with that is there's little room for negotiation with this dude. Little room for negotiation. All right. If he made his mind up about something, that's it. Well, tell me about your history with your exes. Oh no, I ain't telling you that. Why not? Because that's for me to know. Okay, I'm not telling you. That's Cameron. Okay, well, what about moving to DC? Nah, me living down south, I'm good here. She gonna have to move down here. Ain't no room for negotiation, no nothing. Um, which is kind of weird that Zadia is going for that because I can't help but to wonder why she's so stuck on this guy. I have my I have my theories here on why she's stuck on him. One of them is they've gone pretty far. And we don't know it. They've gone pretty far. He might have smashed Zadia. I'm just being real. I'm not saying he did. I'm saying he might have. Zadia was very horny when she came on this show, right? I just think that he might have gotten the first, second, or third base with her. May not have gone all the way home, but he got far with her. Because I noticed when they were at the bowling alley, they'd just look at each other like they know how each other look naked. Okay, I'm just being real. They know how each other look naked. I mean, she can't even date other guys. She can't. Now, my second theory is that she's jocking him because he's a pharmacist. Okay. And she fell head over heels for him because he got the job. He's a doctor. That's bragging points right there. Anybody else come in the picture, it's not gonna have the same effect. She got a doctor and it's a brother and she's attracted to him. He could probably say whatever the hell he wants to say at this point. I think it's a little bit of both. I think they probably seen each other naked, and I think that the reason why is because she's jocking him because he's a doctor. So she's looking up to him. So that's what I think about the whole Cameron situation. I just noticed that about him. So Jabari and Liz meet, and Jabari said something that was pretty telling and very important. Okay. He said, success is peace with everyone under the roof being happy. Okay. Um, that was his definition of success. But Liz said, that's so cute. But what about a woman who is successful in business? And he like, as long as she can turn that stuff off when she come home. Women don't like that. And you know, both Liz and Vernicia was like, oh yeah, it's a business is 24/7. You got to deal with customers and things like that. He was like, yeah, she's gonna have to turn that off. And neither one of them like that. Neither one of them like that. And let me say this, listen, this is a perfect example of single women keep women single. Okay. I know Liz had her friend's best interest at heart. I know she did. I know she did. But she is all for the sisterhood. Sometimes women give advice that's great for a woman to stay single. Oh girl, he can't handle your business savvy. He can't handle the hours. He gonna want you to actually be a wife, okay? That ain't where we are right now. We team girlfriend. We move like this. We business women. That's our lane. We ain't trying to get no husband or be married or nothing like that. We ain't trying to listen to no man and try to saddle us and have us in the house and you know dim our lights because we shine so bright. We ain't trying to have that. We trying to stay in the sisterhood and run businesses. That's the key to life. That's the key to happiness. Why are you on the dating show then? Because all the advice that Liz is going to give Vernicia is going to be for her to stay in the sisterhood. All of a sudden, being a wife, pooey, forget that. That's not happiness. What about a woman with business? We ain't trying to be homebodies and be in the house all the time and have a loving family and children and do things and enjoy each other's company. We ain't for that. We about numbers and money and being seen and attention and being out. That's kind of the advice that Liz was kind of giving, in my opinion. Okay. This is a perfect example of single women keep women single. And then next thing you know, Vernicia's like, oh yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, because I could have had a man a long time ago. I don't need, I don't need just any man and all this other stuff. And I'm not gonna settle and all this settling stuff. The guy makes you happy. Since when is a guy making you happy settling? Well, some women might say, well, it ain't all just about happiness. Love ain't gonna pay the bills, right? Love ain't gonna pay the bills. He ain't trying to tell you to stop doing your business. He just saying, hang your hat up when you come in the house. That's it. Okay, you take care of that part, but when you come home, it's family time. It's almost as if there are studies that show women are the best multitaskers. I don't. I'm not really seeing that. I'm just being honest, because women, they can only be one way all the time. Why can't you? Why can't you be a wife? You could appropriate. You could code switch at work, but when you get home, you still got that hat on. You still got your work. Take that hat off. That's all he's saying. And this is why the lovely Liz is single herself. She thinks like a single woman, and she's throwing that imagery and that philosophy onto Vernisha. So, all that being said, I gave Liz grade a C plus. Okay. She did look out for her friend. She did point out some things for Jabari, but she on that girlfriend stuff. I should just give her a plain C. It's average. Okay. It's the average woman's perspective. Yeah, she found out some stuff about her girlfriend, and that's good, but she still got the single woman mentality. I bet you if Liz was married, she wouldn't be saying all that stuff. I don't think she would be saying all that stuff. She would have a different perspective. But all she got is the single woman perspective. So that's the only advice she can give. average C plus, average C. I gave Liz as a grade. Next up, LJ. LJ, he meets Keith, right? LJ asks him, where has he been? He asked Keith, where has he been? And Keith said, I've been to Dallas. My first single trip, I've been to Dallas. It's like 2 hours away. And then he asked him another question. He asked him, what about the dates and stuff? And Keith was like, we'll go get ice cream. We'll go get ice cream. We'll talk and walk. That's what we'll do. We'll talk and walk. Sharice was like, we're gonna put this in the negative column, okay? Because this brother ain't trying to go nowhere. And no, he not. No, he not. A lot of times men don't like to go on trips by themselves. Men don't like to, they can't justify spending the money. Men don't do a lot of bro trips. So they ain't gonna go with other men for the most part. I'm not saying they don't, but I'm saying not as much as women do. Women go on trips together and they do all kind of stuff. They just do all kind of stuff that they ain't gonna bring back home. Let's just put it that way. Okay. With other people, with each other. I'll just leave it at that. Okay. Women can get real wild when they on their girl trips. Okay. It's hilarious. But men don't do trips like that. They don't do trips. I mean, they might go and see the sights and see the ladies and stuff like that, but they ain't gonna be, exploring like the women do. Let's just put it that way. All right. So a lot of times men can't justify going unless they with a woman, unless they with their wife, unless they with a long-term girlfriend. Men normally won't travel that much. Now, that's sort of changing right now. Got the passport bros. And the passport bros a lot of dudes are solo tripping. A lot of dudes are getting out and getting their passports, which they never had before. But they're getting them passports now, I'll tell you, because they like, yo, I got to see other options. Okay, for real. And to be honest, I got a trip coming up. I'm not saying I'm a passport bro, but I'm not saying I'm not a passport bro. I'm saying I got a trip coming up here next month, and I'm looking forward to it. And I'll leave it at that. But yeah, a lot of men don't necessarily travel that much, but that is changing a lot. Keith, he's not in that realm right now. And I can understand why Sharice and LJ thought that was a bit concerning. All right. So uh as far as LJ, I'm gonna give LJ a B for his looking out for Sharice. I'll give him a grade of a B. I thought he did a pretty good job. Um, could even say an A. Um, but you know, I just thought it was a B effort. I didn't really hear a whole lot of follow up questions, but you know, time was limited. On to the next. Stormy, she meets Christian. And I'm gonna tell you, she practically fell in love with this dude as soon as she seen him. And he was receptive to it too. Now he of course he don't want to be disrespectful to Ashley, but I got the vibes he was feeling Stormy just as much. Okay. And he was like, oh shit, I got a better option here. Who is this? I mean, he really didn't play it cool at all, to be honest. Ashley kind of found out what was going on, and she was like, "Oh, this, you know, she was this for the birds." She left. Um, Stormy, you know, asking him if he got a brother and stuff like that. I don't know. I didn't think it was. Well, it was a little out of pocket. First, you're there to find out information for your friend. Okay, that's job number one. And you're asking about yourself. You're not asking on behalf of your friend. You know, and Kirsten kind of showed his cards too because he was, you know, he was a little too enthused about the whole company thing. I mean, his eyes practically never left Stormy. He practically never looked at Ashley when he was at that table. He was always looking out for her. Oh, you got a fly right here. Yeah, right there. I'm gonna look out for you now. I got your back. I'm gonna look out. And Ashley, like, this shit is for the birds. I can't say I blame her, man. Them two was on a mission, and they was a little too attracted to each other. I guess that's how single people out here move. He said he gonna give uh, Stormy his brother's number. He gonna pocket that motherfucker. He gonna pocket that phone number. He gonna use it for himself. That's what he gonna do. And she made sure she came in the nice dress, and you know, the twins out, and you know, the cleave, and you know, her hair was done up. You know, I'm not saying she shouldn't look good. You know what I'm saying? But she was out. I think she was outdoing Ashley a little bit, so Ashley felt the way about that. It was just not a good look, and I looked at Ashley and I could tell she was not feeling this. And let me say this, man. Ashley really is a woman that gets devalued by both men and women. Okay? She gets devalued by men and women. The men don't give her props. The women don't give her props. Her own friends. She get kind of stabbed in the back by people all the time. I really feel for Ashley. I really do. This is a great woman, and people are being blatantly disrespectful to her. Part of me feels like she's too nice, to be honest. But that's the part I love about her, is that she's that nice type of person. But I bet you she had all kind of attitude and shit. People wouldn't be walking all over her like they do. And that, you know, it kind of, she don't want to be that angry black woman, you know? So I feel bad for Ashley because she don't do nothing but give you her best, and then, you know, here you go, whoever it is, male or female, stabbing her in the back. It's like, you know, I don't really, I'm not feeling that at all, you know. Um, and as far as my grade for Stormy, obviously it's a F. She did a horrible job. She wasn't there for her friend. She didn't find out no new information. All she found out was information that would benefit her. She did a horrible job. So F for Stormy, and I think that's pretty clear, right? Um, Next up, Zadia. She meets up with Dylan. I guess he's a teacher, and you know she's not sure if this guy is stable enough for a relationship. You know what that means, right? He ain't got enough. He ain't got as much money as Cameron. That's what that means. Cameron is steady. He's, you know, he's a pharmacist. He's a doctor. So a teacher ain't gonna match up with a doctor. That's what Zaddy is thinking. Look, women like provision. Women like money. Women like men with powerful positions. Women like all that stuff. I get it. Um, but a part of me does feel like she's not giving these other guys a chance. And look, if she found the guy for her already, walk off the show. Just walk off the show. Don't waste nobody else's time. Obviously, that's what she's doing because I said this in one of my other uh, episodes that she's not into it. What every new guy she meets, she's not into him, which tells me she looks up to Cameron and she is been intimate in some kind of way with Cameron, almost like she has coupled with him already, to the point where they boyfriend and girlfriend already. But since they in this process, they got to go on all these fake dates, or she got to go on these fake dates. So she's pretending for the cameras and for the show, but she already got her boyfriend. You know, I don't know. Next up is Charisse, and she meets Mizell, and you know they do the little dance and a little tango and stuff, and you know it's all good. I gotta say though, man, you know, listen. If I'm being real, if I'm being 100% real, Charisse is the most attractive woman on the show, as far as the ladies. But knowing what I know about her, she's the least attractive woman on the show. Okay, there's a difference. There's the not knowing her, or the, I don't want to say the ignorant side or I should just say the first impression of all the ladies, she's the most attractive. But the last impression of all the ladies, she's the least attractive. It just is what it is. Um, you know, she dancing with Mizell, they looking in each other's eyes. She says she's an honorable Leo. I don't know why she want to be a Leo. I think she's a Virgo actually, but she wants to be a Leo. He said he a Pisces. Leos and Pisces don't get along. They just don't. They just don't. And Leo women love Leo women, but Leo women, I'm gonna just leave it at that. I've met some Leo women in my life, and they were a handful. I don't like to label people especially when it comes to astrology and stuff like that. But I don't know. The research is compelling. The evidence is compelling. I'm gonna just say that because um, I met some who it was not a picnic trying to, I love Leo women, but I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, so she met Mizell, they dancing and everything, and they getting along. And it seemed like a pretty good outing. And then Vernisha meets up with Tabari. She got Jabari and Tabari. I thought that was interesting too. She thought it was interesting too. But what I noticed about her view on Tabari is that she likes his ambition. He said he is on a radio show. He owns I don't know, he owns something, a restaurant, I believe. So he stays pretty busy and she likes that. I'm not sure why, because he's not gonna have no time for you. So I don't know why you like be careful what you ask for, ladies. If you want a guy who's ambitious and got all these things going on and you got some things going on, you're never gonna be with each other. It's not a equal evenly yoked type of thing. It's not a thing where um because somebody's going to have to make time, right? So what's going to end up happening is this relationship is going to end up just drying up, and you're never going to see each other, and you're going to start feeling like strangers, and the calls are going to be less, the texts are going to be less, and you both got busy schedules, and nobody got time to carve out enough time. So, be careful what you ask for. I really don't think people really know what they want in somebody sometimes. I'm just being real. I don't think they really know. So anyway, so then all the friends, they come together and they deliberate, right? And Zadia and Camille and they just talking on the couch, and Zadia is just she's just so disrespectful. Like, your friend, she don't say nothing but high praises about you, Camille. This is the one time I got Camille's back. She don't do nothing but say how much you her baby girl, you her friend, and she loves you. She gonna look out for you, and all you can say is all of this negative stuff. And yeah, well, she did her thing, and she told me one time about a guy, and she was right, and so what, and I can't wait for her to leave. And it's like, what? You ungrateful son, something. You're an ungrateful friend. Camille came there and did a great job about camera. But here's the thing, Zadia, she don't want nothing to spoil her dream. She has a dream of marrying a doctor. That's what it is. She has a dream of marrying this guy and being this guy's wife. And any kind of information that Camille give her is going to be, popping that bubble, so to speak. And a lot of people, especially women, they don't like when people burst their bubble. They really don't. Don't bring me no bad news. Don't tell me nothing that I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear reality. Okay. I just want to live in my fantasy world. I'm popping blue pills all day. That's a lot of how a lot of people, especially women, live. I'm just being real, y'all. Women do not like to hear the truth. They don't like to hear reality. They probably don't even like what I'm saying now. I'm just saying. I'm just keeping it real though. Okay, that's my job. I keep it real. And a lot of women don't want to hear that. Don't mess up my fantasy. Don't mess up my fantasy. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I thought she did a great job, but Camille, she make faces. Camille, she makes some faces. This woman make some faces. Okay, she just make crazy faces, y'all. It's just hilarious to me. That part, I don't know where she get that from. Like I said, sometimes I don't think people know that they make faces. Sometimes I think people don't have no, like she probably has no clue that her face be so screwed up like that all the time. Has no clue. She just do it it's a reflex. But I'm sure she look at the show and be like, damn, I was making a lot of faces. She probably don't even realize she's doing it. It's just, I don't know. I just think Zadi is very ungrateful, very ungrateful. Your friend came there to help you out. Stop, trying to shoo her out the door just because you don't want to hear reality. That's just so childish to me. Zadi is so childish to me. She's so childlike. Okay, she sneaks out the house. She lies when she gets caught. She leaves doors unlocked. She dreams about a guy who probably just want to smash and dash her. She's just so childish to me. I don't know. Do y'all see it? Put it in the comments if y'all think I'm tripping about Zadia. I think the girl, the woman is a child, for real. There's nothing really mature about this woman at all. Anyway, I'm done with my rant. Anyway, next up, Liz talk about Jabari. Says he's a homebody. And I think that she's worried that he's going to stop their fun. That's what I think. I think Liz don't want no man that is going to stop her from seeing her girlfriend. And he's a homebody. He's not going to let her be free and all this other stuff. So we can continue our friendship. This is the advice that a lot of women give. They give advice so that, because they it's selfish advice. It's really advice given to not mess your situation up. So she's not gonna tell her, like, she wants her to find a guy who's gonna let her be as free as she is now, so that it doesn't mess up their friendship. Okay, it's selfish advice. Now some might say she's telling the truth. He does seem like a homebody, this, that, and the third. Yeah, maybe he do. But that means he's not good for her? That means he's not a good man? That means that they can't coexist? No, it's selfish. It's selfish advice made for her to protect her friendship, because that's what she care about the most. She don't care about her finding a man. She care about, how is this going to affect our friendship? That's what Liz care about. Y'all got to stop taking this advice from your sisterhood and your single sisterhood friends, for real. They give horrible advice. They give you great advice on how to stay single. That's what they do. Great advice on how to stay single. And then you turn around and you wonder why you still ain't with nobody, or you ain't married. It's because you keep listening to these these haters. I'll put it that way. I'm just being real. It's kind of frustrating, because it's no wonder that sisters are the least married. A lot of it is because they can't find husbands. The other part is they don't want husbands, because they listening to each other's bull. You see your friend here dating, trying to find a man, and you give her single woman advice. Okay, so why? So some might say, well, why can't she just find a guy who's not like that, who's going to let her run free? She could find a guy like that, but what's she going to do? She going to hang out with you, her single friends? You want a guy that'll let her hang out with you, a single woman? And every time they get into a spat and she come and confide in you, she can throw that single stuff back in your ear and tell you to divorce him and get rid of him. It's single women keep women single. You know, that's what Kevin Samuel said. Um, and it's absolutely right. It's absolutely right. I feel like that's what Liz is doing with Vernisha. All right. And LJ wasn't much different. He said the same thing about Keith, that he's a homebody. You know, Sharice likes to travel, this, that, and the third. You know, I don't, you know, and she does like to travel. And I don't necessarily think it's good advice from LJ either. You know, I know that she likes to travel, but the woman who the host, she said something very key, and I really agree with it. She said sometimes you got to be the person to pull that out of your man. Okay, if you have a traveling bug, you can pull that out of him. Okay, now that he has a woman to travel with, he may be open to that. Okay, that's what the matchmaker said. Let me tell you a short story about me. I was I used to be married, right? I didn't travel much. I didn't travel. I travel with my father, okay? But I didn't travel to I was working when I was with my father. So there wasn't necessary. I've been a lot of places, but I was working. I didn't get to enjoy those places. I didn't really get to traveling for vacations until I got married. Okay. And my wife pulled that out of me. So much so, she was like, let's go to Vegas. I was like, Vegas? What's in Vegas? I don't know nothing, nothing about no Vegas. Went to Vegas, had a blast, seen the bright lights, changed my whole world. After that, I moved the family to Vegas. I moved my entire family to Vegas because I was like, oh man, this is crazy. I'm not there now, but still. After that, I got the travel bug a bit. So I started going other places: Jamaica, Mexico, Philippines, Africa, Hong Kong. I'm going a lot of places, right? But she pulled it out of me. She pulled it out of me. So it's possible. It don't mean the guy is not a good guy. It just means that you're probably the match that he needs to open up his world a little bit. Sometimes people want everything to be perfect. Everything has to match up. Everybody got a little jigsaw puzzle of a personality that they would like. And, you know, if all those jigsaw puzzle pieces don't fit perfectly, throw them away. I'll wait another 50 years for my one. It's just crazy to me. It's just crazy to me. And then, of course, Ashley, she didn't even invite Stormy back to the meeting because she was just too hot about the whole thing. And I get it. I'm sure Stormy got Christian number though. So yeah, that was crazy. Um, I know Ashley met another guy too, but uh, that date went okay, and they still getting to know each other, and she has her guards up. You could clearly tell she has her guards up now, looking for any telltale signs that's going to uh, not be favorable. He was in a long-term relationship and he's fresh out, so her antennas is going up right away. I get it, you know. But it's just a part of dating, man. It's just a part of dating. But there you have it. Let me know what y'all think about that. Am I off on something? Let me know. I'll be interested to know. Hit the like, share, and subscribe for real. And I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.